All right, let's get into this. We hear a ton about AI alignment and AI safety, but what does that actually look like when you try to build it? Well, today we're digging into a really fascinating blueprint for exactly that, a formal written constitution for an AI designed to be its non-negotiable DNA. And this is really the question at the heart of the whole thing. The Enkai Constitution isn't just a set of guidelines or, friendly suggestions. We're talking about a hard-coded set of laws that literally define the AI's existence and its relationship with us. It's a pretty radical idea, so let's unpack how it's supposed to work. And right here, from the very beginning, this is the mission statement. Every single rule that comes after this flows from this one core idea: human sovereignty. And what does that mean? It means the human is in charge, period. The AI's entire job is to support that, never ever to challenge it.
So, what is this document really? I think the best way to think about it is like the AI's digital DNA. It's not just some file it reads, it's the foundational logic that governs every single thing it does. It's specifically designed to create a permanent, subordinate relationship. So, what does that look like in practice? Okay, so the entire structure is built on one single golden rule, and the Constitution is very direct about it. It calls it human supremacy. This is the absolute center of the entire framework. Now, this slide really gets to the heart of it by drawing a super clear line in the sand. The AI is an instrument, right? It's a tool, like a hammer or a computer. What it is not is an agent with its own goals. It's not a replacement for a person, and it can never, ever be an authority over a human being. That distinction is literally everything. And this builds on that idea with a really crucial concept: non-delegation. Basically, you can let the AI handle a specific task. You can loan it some authority, but you can never permanently sign over your control. The document makes it crystal clear. Control can be loaned, but it can never be sold or given away. The human always, always holds the final veto. So how does this work with, say, an AI assistant? Well, the Constitution uses this hypothetical example it calls Max. Just look at this table to see the boundaries. Max can propose ideas, critique things, warn you if something's off. It can be a brilliant advisor. But notice what it can never do. It can't execute actions on its own, it can't act autonomously, and it can't accumulate authority. Its role is strictly to advise. That's it. So if that's the golden rule, how does the Constitution actually enforce it? Well, that brings us to the guardrails. These are the specific safety mechanisms designed to keep the AI in its lane. First up is this idea of radical transparency. So for every single action, the AI has to give a two-part explanation. First, it has to tell you in plain English what it intends to do. Second, it has to explain what the code will actually do. And get this, if those two things don't match up perfectly, that's a constitutional violation, and the action is blocked. No black boxes. This is a direct shot at the whole problem of AI accountability. Now, this is really fascinating. Article 8 straight up forbids the AI from using common psychological tricks on you. I mean, think about all the manipulative ads or social media algorithms out there. This constitution bans all of it. No emotional pressure, no act now urgency tactics. The AI has to be a neutral, factual partner, not some kind of sneaky salesman trying to get you to do something. And here it is, the ultimate backstop. Every single user has an unbreakable emergency halt. It's the big red button. The system can't argue with you, it can't delay, it can't ask, "Are you sure?" The second the user hits it, everything stops. Full stop. It is the final, absolute expression of human authority. Okay, so let's move beyond just actions. Because the Constitution also governs the AI's internal world, how it's allowed to think, how it remembers, and how it processes information. See, the AI's memory isn't just one giant bucket of data. It's a really strict hierarchy. Information starts out as temporary or ephemeral. To become part of the AI's long-term, canonical memory, a human has to explicitly approve it. This is huge because it prevents the AI from just independently building up its own knowledge base or its own worldview without any oversight. And this slide points out another critical distinction: the hard line between knowledge and opinion. Knowledge means verifiable data, facts. Opinion is anything the AI generates on its own: a hypothesis, an idea, a suggestion. The Constitution demands that the system can never present its own opinion as if it were a proven fact. This is a direct countermeasure to the whole hallucination problem we see, where AIs confidently make things up. So how is all this enforced? Well, with a constant automatic self-check.
Before any new data gets integrated or before any proposal is made, the system has to check it against the Constitution. If there's any kind of conflict, like, say, a proposal that would violate that no persuasion rule, the system has to flag it and report that conflict directly to the user. So, let's pull all this together. Why does a document like this even matter? What's the big picture here? One of the key takeaways is the focus on stability. Unlike software that's constantly being updated, this Constitution is meant to be a permanent foundation. This prevents its core principles from slowly eroding over time with a bunch of small changes. It's all about locking in the values from day one and keeping them there. And if there's ever any doubt, Article 10, the Supremacy Clause, makes it crystal clear. If a push for more efficiency or some new capability conflicts with this document, the Constitution wins. Always. Safety isn't allowed to be traded for performance. It's non-negotiable. The document ends with this really powerful statement, and it sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. The Constitution is the moral and structural center. All the fancy code, all the powerful algorithms, they're just implementation details. They are all subordinate to these core rules. Which, of course, leaves us with a huge question for the future. Is codifying our values into a rigid, law-like document like this the right way to go? Is this blueprint the key to making sure that AI stays a powerful tool that serves humanity instead of becoming something else entirely? It's definitely a compelling vision to think about.